What is going on, everyone? Hope you all are having a fantastic Sunday so far. It is your boy AC back at it again with another video. Welcome to another episode of Hawks Fan TV, your number one source for all things Atlanta Hawks. Today is a huge day for us Hawks fans. Massive day. We got Game 3 of the Eastern Conference Finals. Our Atlanta Hawks are facing off the Bucks at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tonight. And we look to go up 2-1 in the series, okay? We got absolutely smacked, embarrassed, destroyed in Game 2 in Milwaukee. Absolutely horrendous performance all around. Really no way to sugarcoat that game. Trae Young played awful. And yeah, everything was just a nightmare that game. A couple positives that I discussed in my last video. We obviously had Bogey hitting more threes than we've seen basically the past 2, 3, 4 games combined. He looks a little bit more healthier, a little bit more fluid out on the court. He's got some more bounce in his step, so that was good. And we had Cam Reddish. Cam Reddish played his first game since coming back. Since February 21st. So obviously, when you spend 4 months almost not playing real competitive basketball at the NBA level, you might be a little rusty. Granted, Cam Reddish's play probably was a little overvalued considering most of his minutes came in garbage time against second, third string players off the Bucks that we won't even see for the remainder of the series. But regardless, these are still NBA players that he went up against, and he looked good. Had a couple of threes. He had some nice drive-ins, some good pump fakes, finished at the rim. He looked fluid. Defense was there, had a couple of good defensive possessions. So can't really complain from him. I think we're going to see him a lot more for the rest of the series. If you've noticed, Coach McMillan actually brought him in around the 6-minute mark of the second quarter. That was when the game was still kind of within striking distance, okay? We were only down 13 or 14 points. As you've seen from previous games, we've come back from, way more than that. 18 points, 26 points against the Sixers. So that's a good sign. That lets me know that Coach McMillan has a little confidence, has a little faith in Cam Reddish to bring him in when it's still within striking distance. Hopefully we see him a lot sooner. I don't anticipate our starting lineup changing at all. I'm pretty sure Bogdanovic and Kevin Huerter are going to remain the starters. Typical starters: Trae, Bogey, Kevin Huerter, John Collins, Clint Capella, with Gallinari and Lou Williams probably being our 6th and 7th man off the bench. I won't be surprised either if we see a lot more on Onyeka Okongwu. He's looked really good this playoffs in the limited minutes that he's played. And in some cases against the 76ers, he's actually looked a lot better than Clint Capella on Dwight Howard, Joel Embiid. So been very impressed with Double O. Very, very impressed. So I won't be surprised when we see him. Now, today's obviously a very special episode. We got a couple of callers, a couple of fellow Hawks fans calling in, giving their opinions, their outlook going into Game 3, their opinions on what they've seen so far in this series. So it's been, I'm excited to hear from some fans. Our first caller today is going to be AJ from Marietta. AJ's been a lifelong diehard Hawks fan, basically his whole life. So I'm excited to hear his thoughts. We got AJ on the call. AJ, welcome to Hawks Fan TV. How you doing?
Hey, I was saying thanks for having me on, man. It's a big fan of the Twitter page and everything that you guys are doing, man. So I get all the Hawks news. So appreciate you having me on.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's a pleasure to have you, Aaron. AJ, so big game going into Game 3 tonight. Obviously, in Game 2, not the results that we wanted, right? Very disappointing result, but that's in the past. That's behind us now. What's something that you want to see, hopefully, going into Game 3, some adjustments that you hope Nate McMillan makes, and ultimately what the key is to victory for us tonight?
Yeah, definitely. So something that I've been telling a lot of people I've been talking to, and just my basically the eye test I've been seeing from this Hawks team is I just want to see the Hawks play a complete game. I still feel like we haven't played a complete game maybe since that first half in Philly was probably as close as we got to. But I still feel like the Hawks still got a complete game in them where we can play a full game for 48 minutes, defensive and offensively. Something necessarily to say that we need to make an adjustment. I mean, I know everyone's in Atlanta thinking kind of the sky's falling after losing game 2, especially in the fashion we did. But, you got to think this way. We did what we needed to do up there, and now we're coming back home with what we set on doing is to go up 3-1 in this series. So I think tonight I would just love to see a complete game from the Hawks, and that means hitting the shots that we're used to seeing them hit. I feel like there's been so many times where we're up in these games, or we can put some distance between us and the opponent, but it just seems like those shots just haven't been falling. So I feel like if we hit some of those tonight, we'll be in good shape.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, AJ. And I've been saying and I've been preaching law of averages. Obviously, our 3-point shot will start to hit. The last time we've had a good 3-point performance was probably game 1 against the 76ers last round. Obviously, a lot of games in between now and then. So hopefully our shooters can get hot. I mean, obviously that's what was a result of, a lot of success was coming from that 3-point ball, and that's really how our team is built. So I'm hoping that our guys get hot. Obviously with Bogdan been hurt, but he showed some flashes last game. I'm excited to see him and what he can do now that he's gotten a couple of more days of rest on that knee. So I absolutely agree with you. We saw Cam Reddish for the first time since February. I know a lot of Hawks fans have been excited to see him. What were your thoughts about Cam and his return, and what do you expect to see from him moving forward?
Yeah, definitely. And this may even tie into your first question about kind of what adjustments. I think that's something Nate had to figure out between, games 2 and 3 is, if Bogdan is not going to be healthy, and if we're going to see him be limited in his capacity, does that open the door for Cam Reddish maybe getting some more playing time? Now, we saw him in a small sample size in game 2, and after the game, letting everyone know that was his first 5-on-5 action since February, which was pretty amazing to think about. So, I think he looked good. I think he gets maybe, some game conditioning in a little bit with playoffs. Obviously a little different scenario being down 30 as to, maybe being down 3. But I would love to see him, get more. I mean, this guy's part of our future. I would love to see him, get out there, get some, meaningful minutes and really just kind of see what he can do. Not necessarily maybe throw him to the Wolves and put him on a guy like Giannis or Chris Middleton, but, be out there, get some spot minutes and just see what he can do on both sides of the court.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm a big Cam Reddish advocate. I've been that way since he got drafted. I think he has one of the highest ceilings, highest potentials on this roster. So I'm excited to see what he can do, especially a full offseason under Coach McMillan. Obviously, a lot of our players have improved since Lloyd Pierce's departure, so excited to see what Cam can do. AJ, before I let you go, I really appreciate you calling in. What's your final prediction for the game tonight, and also your series prediction?
Yeah, definitely. So, and I again appreciate you having me on, man. And looking at this game tonight, I mean, this is the thing with this team that's just been so fun to watch. I just feel like they have a bounce back game in them. I wouldn't say that about some Hawks teams in the past, but the way they got smacked around in game 2 and just knowing what we have on the line for games 3 and 4, what we can do to this series, I think we take game 3 tonight, and I think it'll come down to the wire. It'll be pretty close. We'll probably ice it with some Trae Young free throws. I'll go 107-103 Atlanta.
I love it. AJ, I appreciate you calling in. Have a great rest of your day. Looking forward to the game tonight, and let's go Hawks, baby.
Let's go Hawks, man. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. So that was AJ from Marietta calling. Appreciate you joining the call, AJ, and giving your thoughts on this Hawks team in the game tonight. Man, it's a big one. It's a big one. And a lot is hinging on this series. Now, even if we lose, guys, it's not full-on panic mode. If you remember, we lost game 3 in the 76ers series in round 2, and we still managed to win in 7. Obviously, a little bit different scenarios. The pressure is a little bit greater. This is a Eastern Conference matchup, right? It's not the second round. But regardless, that 76ers team was tough. They were experienced, and we went down 1-2 and we tied it up in game 4. So hopefully it doesn't come to that. I don't want us having to be in a position where we have to tie up the series in the fourth game. I want us to take care of business tonight. The boys haven't been back in Atlanta for over a week now, okay? After Game 7 in Philly, we flew straight to Milwaukee to prepare for Game 1 of the ECF. I'm sure our guys are well rested. They've been, excited and wanting to play back in front of State Farm Arena since the last 76ers game, which was Game 6. Obviously, a lot of time since then, so our boys are going to be fired up. You already know Coach McMillan has been firing up and coaching our guys up, and I don't expect the same result from last game, especially from Trae Young. He's a superstar player, guys. He's a superstar player. Superstars don't have two bad games back-to-back in a row. That's what Shaquille O'Neal always says, and it's true. A player of Trae Young's caliber is not going to do what he did in Game 2. And all the credit to Milwaukee, okay? If for any Bucks fans that are watching, you guys came out, played hard. I know in my last video I was kind of trashing you guys and saying it was lucky and you guys weren't doing anything special or differently, but you guys played hard. Obviously, the team realized the significance of Game 2. Obviously, going back to Atlanta down 0-2 was something that they just weren't going to have, and they showed it. They were the hungrier team, winning the 50-50 balls. They just wanted it more, and we can't be playing with that same intensity for Game 3 tonight. I expect different results. We got Game 3 tonight. We have our second caller coming on shortly. We got Thomas calling from Atlanta, Georgia. Thomas from Atlanta, Georgia, another diehard Atlanta Hawks fan, been riding with this team his whole life, so I'm excited to hear his thoughts. He'll be coming on in just a couple of minutes here. But man, I'm looking at the line right here, ladies and gentlemen, and if we look at this, this is disrespectful. This is Game 3, Eastern Conference Finals. We're at home, okay? We're in Atlanta, and they're still giving us a 37% chance of coming out with the W. Absolutely disrespectful. This is crazy. Of course, the line is a little bit more generous since last game. If you all remember from my last video, the Hawks were a +8. Obviously, Vegas cut that in half, +4.5 basically. So they expected to be a closer game, but still, this is the disrespect. +4.5 on the road, at home. This Atlanta crowd is not the same as Milwaukee. Okay, State Farm Arena, Atlanta, GA, Eastern Conference Finals, first time us being back since 2015. You already know that State Farm is going to be absolutely on fire tonight. The boys are going to be hungry. Trae Young is going to be itching. He's been itching ever since the fourth quarter ended in last game on Wednesday night. He's just been itching to come back, Friday night to prove and redeem himself from Game 2. So I'm excited. I'm excited for Game 3 tonight. It's going to be a good one. So as I mentioned, we got Thomas calling in, our caller number 2, giving his outlook on the Hawks and the game tonight. Thomas is from Atlanta, diehard Hawks fan here. So Thomas, welcome to the show. You're on Hawks Fan TV.
Hey, glad to be on here today, Alex. Can't wait to talk some Hawks with you. I'm excited for the game tonight.
Absolutely. We're in for a doozy here, Thomas. Game 3, Eastern Conference Finals, first game in State Farm Arena in Atlanta, back in the conference finals since that 2015 season. What's been kind of the biggest surprise for you? Obviously you've been a diehard Hawks fan your whole life. What is it about this team that feels a little differently from previous teams? And is this your favorite Hawks team of all time so far?
First of all, this is absolutely my favorite Hawks team of all time, and my main reason why is Trae Young, and he's the difference maker in this entire team. The Hawks have never had a true superstar. I love Joe Johnson and everything he did for our team, but at the end of the day, man, Joe Johnson isn't what Trae Young is. Trae Young makes everyone on the court better, and that him and Nate McMillan talk about it all the time. He bought into what Nate wanted to do with the team, and Nate bought into what Trae wanted to do with the team, and they ride or die together. And I think that's what it is. This is actually a team.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I've preached this in my last videos, Thomas. Trae Young is the superstar player that the Hawks. And honestly, the city of Atlanta has been so hungry for these past few years. Obviously, we've had some great players with Julio and Matt Ryan on the Falcons, Ronald Acuna with the Braves, but yeah, the Hawks specifically, we like you mentioned, Joe Johnson. He's been one of my favorite players back when he was with the Hawks, and he didn't have the swagger, he didn't have the on-court demeanor, and just that killer instinct mentality that Trae Young possesses. And it's a really exciting time to be a Hawks fan. A lot of new Hawks fans are coming out the woodworks because of Trae Young, and the whole national media is talking about this Hawks team and Trae. And I don't even remember the last time people like Stephen A. Smith and Skip Bayless and all these other guys were talking about a Hawks player. Have you?
No, I mean the Hawks never get any national media. Even when we had that team, that won first place in the Eastern Conference, pretty much all they said is, "Are you buying into the Hawks team?" And of course, every single one of them said they weren't buying into the Hawks. I mean, that was about the most love we could ever get.
Yeah, absolutely. Straight disrespectful from all of those previous teams. That 60-win season, everyone still counted us out. And you're right. Their biggest reasoning was, when it comes late in the fourth quarter, who are you going to give the ball to? Do you have that it player, that go-to killer player to get you a bucket late in the fourth quarter? And I think it's safe to say that the Hawks finally have that player in Trae Young. So glad to see the city and fans from across the world are really buying into this Hawks team, are a fan of Trae Young. Going into Game 3, big game tonight. Obviously, we got destroyed in Game 2. What's one big adjustment that you want to see for tonight that we didn't see in the previous two games that's going to be a key to victory tonight?
Yeah, I think the key to victory tonight is that we got to keep Giannis out of the paint somehow. Giannis has still been putting up numbers. Also feel like last game they got a little fortunate and started out hot shooting the three ball. Both teams shot the three ball poorly in both games, so especially for the Hawks, we shot it poorly in Game 1, only making 8 threes. I mean, in Game 2, we didn't shoot the three ball well either out of the gate. I think we need to shoot the three ball well to start the game off. I think we started 0 of 10 in Game 1, so we need to come out hot and firing up those threes like we usually do. And we need Bogey to pick us up a little bit. Bogey's obviously been hurting a little bit from that knee, but I think if we get his three-point shot going, we can stretch the floor and really open it up.
Yeah, 100%, Thomas. That's what the last caller, AJ, said the same thing. And law of averages will tell us that our team is eventually going to pick up that three ball again. Last time we've shot exceptionally well from the three-point line was that first game against the Sixers, right? So it's been a long time coming. Bogey's been hurt. He showed some great flashes last game in Game 2. He hit 2 threes. That's 2 more than he's hit in the previous 3 games combined. So that was a good sign. Do you think that we should be continue to start Bogey, even though he's kind of 70%, or are you one of those fans that think maybe we should start Cam at the 3 and put Kevin at the 2?
No, I like Bogey in the starting lineup still. I still think Cam's a little out of sync and rusty. I mean, he put in some decent minutes at the end of that last game, but you could tell there's still a bit of rust. I don't think Cam's earned the starting spot just yet. And, I mean, if we didn't have Lou Williams, like when we had Rondo, I was more of a fan of Bogey, or as they call him, K-Von off the bench. But, now that we've got Lou Williams to give us a little offensive boost, I think we're better off playing with the shooters in the starting lineup.
Yeah, I agree. I'm a huge Cam Reddish advocate. Been a fan of him since he got drafted out of Duke. But yeah, I completely agree. Obviously, he showed some rust last game, even though he showed some flashes. I don't think he's quite ready to be thrown in the starting lineup. But I do expect Coach McMillan to put him earlier than we did see him in Game 2. He came in right around that 6-minute mark of the second quarter. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw him coming in at any point in the first quarter this game tonight. Thomas, before I let you go, what are your predictions for the game tonight, and where do you see us for the rest of the series?
Yeah, so for the game tonight, I think the Hawks get it done at the house. Look, we've been about 80% since McMillan took over at home. I think that trend continues here. Milwaukee's got a good team and all. I mean, they overperformed last game. We packed in to get ready for this one. Trae Young says one thing that he does is he adjusts throughout these series. He had 9 turnovers last game. I know for a fact he's going to adjust to the defensive changes they made. The Hawks are going to make a lot of adjustments with him and McMillan. I think we win 118 to 112. Like we were saying earlier, I think the Hawks knock down a 3-ball and make Milwaukee play a quick up-and-down game. For the total series, though, look, we're the underdogs. I'm just going to leave it at that. So I'm just going to say we're the underdogs because I don't like jinxing stuff when it comes to my teams. I feel like with Atlanta, whenever I predict we're going to win big time series, I jinx it. So I'm just going to say we're the underdogs.
Hey, I respect that, Thomas. I respect that. I do agree with you. I think we take care of business at home tonight, and a close nail biter game. But I think Trey has a big bounce back. I think our other players like Bogey and Kevin Herter and Gallo and those guys redeem themselves as well. So, I'm right there with you. Given the history of Atlanta sports, certainly don't want to jinx our team, but I'm feeling good. The swagger and the mindset and the mentality that this team possesses is nothing that I've ever seen from previous Hawks team. But I respect it. I really appreciate you calling in today, Thomas. And let's go Hawks, baby.
Hey, let's go Hawks, Alex. I appreciate you having me on. I love the fact you started up this Hawks fan TV. Keep it going.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let's go Hawks, baby. I'll see you later.
See ya, bro.
All right, that was Thomas from Atlanta calling in. Man, you heard it, boys and girls. You heard it. Make Giannis a jump shooter, okay? Build that wall. Our three ball needs to fall if we have any chance in this series against the Bucks, right? Our team is predicated around three-point shooting. So at this point, let's just manifest the W, okay? Have faith in our team, have faith in Coach McMillan, have faith in Trae Young and the rest of the guys, and we're going to perform. I have a good feeling about this game tonight, and I have a good feeling for the rest of the series. If we do what we need to do, and Trae Young plays to his ability that I know he can play at, this series is a wrap, okay? Make Giannis a jump shooter. Limit their role players, okay? I don't want to see Brent Forbes or Brook Lopez or Bobby Portis, of all people, going off, hitting 3, 4, 5 threes a game against us, okay? I've seen it enough. I've seen it. I'm sick and tired of it. I saw Seth Curry last series and Shake Milton go off. I saw Alec Burks and a little bit of Isaiah Quickly in the Knicks series. I'm tired of their role players popping off against us. Limit their role players. Contain Giannis. Make him a jump shooter. And Trae Young be Trae Young, okay? We have one of the best closers in the game. Ice Trae. John Collins, Clint Capella, one of the best front courts in the league. And we got some of the best shooters with Gallo, Bogey, Kevin, Lou coming off the bench. I mean, let's do this, okay? Let's go Hawks. I'm still sticking with my series prediction of Hawks in 6, okay? We take care of business tonight, and we take the W, okay? Looking forward to you guys after the game. I'll be doing a live stream of a post-game caller reaction as well. Hope you guys tune in. But until then, let's go Hawks and take care. I love you all.